Hey, it's Leland Baptist, and in this video, I want to quickly show you additional ways to find buyers. I want to first let you know that money flows through people. And so, even whether you're wholesaling real estate, whether you're raising money for your fund or a project or an apartment building or whatever else, or for a business, money flows through people. What that means is that you have to be willing to make a connection with individuals, and that does mean talk to people. You got to be willing to communicate with them, whether that's via text, message, or messenger, whether that's via phone call, email, um, carrier pigeon, or anything else. Okay. So in this video, I'm simply just going to show you an additional way to find buyers. And then in the future, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we basically grow these relationships, network with other people, etc. All right. So with that being said, let's just like get right into it. Okay. Here we go. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to think about the property that we have, and we want to say to ourselves, like, I wonder, I wonder whom I could reach out to, right? So in this example, let's say that I am looking to wholesale a property that is in Louisville, Kentucky. And although I'm looking to wholesale a property in Louisville, Kentucky, I am not willing to fly, drive, commute to Louisville. All right. So what I could do is I could look for different groups. I could look for meetup groups. I could look for Facebook groups. I could even go as far as looking at bigger pockets. Okay. So let's first look for Meetup. All right. Go to meetup.com and I went ahead and search Louisville, Louisville, real estate investing group, right? Or probably it's probably an investor group. All right. So let's see what happens real quick when I do this. So I get one. It says real estate investors meetup of Louisville, and then I get to see who the organizer is, and I get to see who the members are. Now, time out real quick. Does this mean that the organizer is a big dealer? No. Doesn't mean that any of these members are big players. Not necessarily. They could be people that are looking to maybe just get started, right? We don't know, you don't know, I don't know until we speak to someone. We don't know. All right. Let's not we don't want to dangerously make the assumption that we're going to look at um, that we're experts at looking at a book without judging a book by its cover. Okay, so we don't know. Now what we can do is I could log in to Meetup. I could join this Meetup, and then by me joining this Meetup, I could message the individuals that are here. In addition to me messaging the individuals that are here, I could also look to see if this Meetup also happens to have a messenger board, which this one does. But I can also look to see if this meetup happens to have um, a Facebook group. All right. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to pause the screen just for a little bit, and I'm going to log into Meetup, and you're going to see me actually do what I'm telling you to do. All right. Give me a few moments. All right. So here we are. New Meetup. Right. I'm doing this for the first time with you guys. All right. So logged in. And look who we find out, Mike Butler. Now, just so you guys know, now Mike Butler is actually a really big investor in Kentucky. So that's pretty cool. Mike also has a really cool book that I love, which is called Landlord on Autopilot. If you don't know the book, check it out. I think I have it in the back of my library here. Actually, I do. It is on the first shelf on the far right. So anyway, so yeah. So we have a friend in common. This is another investor here, and actually, I now just know that this particular investor that I know personally, this is how he's getting some people on his buyers list. Anyway, So what I would do now that I am logged in, right? I went to members, clicked on members right here, showing me all the members, and I can simply just send a message. All right, I could just send a message. Hey Mike, I am a huge fan of your landlord book. I wanted to know if uh, I could chat with you for a few minutes in reference to a property in your area. All right, cool. Let's see if I can spell reference correct. Hit send. Boom. All right, cool. So that's one person. You just saw me just literally message somebody. Here's someone else. This person is on private, so I can't necessarily see everything that she's doing. But if I really want to figure out who this lady is I'm going to log into Facebook in a few moments, and we're going to basically do that. So give me one moment. All right, so here we are on Facebook. I first want to go ahead and say, just off top, um, forgive me for whatever you see on Facebook. You know, I cannot control what any of these people post. Okay, so um, now going back here, we have a name. So I'm gonna copy that name. Hit the copy. You guys can see it, and I'm just going to paste it in real quick, and let's see what we get. All right. So she is an entrepreneur. She is a consultant or a seller, or excuse me, or an agent at Keller Williams Realty. Now check this out. I found her just now. You guys saw me find her by going to a meetup group for real estate investors. As I look her up, I find out that she is a realtor that is a part of a real estate investors association, which would mean that she's a realtor that works with, drum roll please, investors, right? She's a realtor that works with investors. So we see that she has a follow page right here. We see that so this is a follow page or a business page, right? We see that she makes various posts. We see that she has a location for her business. She specializes in home buying and selling and new construction and client relationships. Remember, I told you guys and the one-on-one training and the group training that you want to network with realtors that spend majority of their time building relationships with other investors, because that's how really good realtors actually make a lot of money, is by building relationships with investors. So here you go. All right. She's even talking about referral partners. So this is fantastic. So what I would do is I'm actually going to I'll just message her. But what I could do is I could follow her if I wanted to. I could maybe hit a like on it. I could look at some of her closings, right? All that cool stuff. And I'm guessing she's an AKA, maybe. Cool. Yep, she says my soror. So like for me, not that it means anything, but my wife's an AKA. Um, I'm a Cap, I'm a Newt, and for example, Hank is an Alpha, right? So maybe in my initial communication with her, I could possibly bring that up. Just FYI, I'm not saying that it's even necessary to do that, but that could be another point or another tie into building relationships. That's what I'm getting at. All right. So um, I'll do it for you guys right now. Let you see. So I'm going to message here. Now again, I'm about to message her business page. Like this where it says pages, this is a business page. Right here where it says people, this is technically still a business profile. However, the way Facebook works is with these types of profiles, it allows you to be a little bit more um, less jaded. It's weird, but anyway, here's what I'm gonna do. Put this up a little bit. Okay. Her name is Crystalline. Hey, Crystalline. Hope this message finds you well. I am a real estate investor that is doing business in Kentucky. I uh, wanted to reach out and build relationships with other investors in the market. Do you have 5 or 10 minutes to chat via phone? Thanks. All right, I'm going to hit a space bar there and make sure that I can spell message, right? And I might just copy and paste this one for our next example. And I will hit go. Okay. That is it. You guys just saw it. And again, this is a business page of hers. So of course there's a automated message. But what's great is if she has the business app on her phone, it shows up. Okay, cool. Now let's go back to Meetup. And if you wanted to, right? If I wanted to, I could message and network with all 1,983 people that are part of this real estate investors meetup of Louisville. Now, what if I did the same thing, but I chose to do the same thing in I don't know a different area. So we're talking about Louisville. Um, let's go to Google. We're in Google. So let's go to Louisville, Kentucky, actually. Kentucky Meetup Real Estate Investors. Oh, let's do Investor Association. Okay. So remember the first one that we went to, it is not a RIA. It's just a meetup. Now this one right here is a RIA because it said by RIA we mean Real Estate Investor Association, REIA. Okay, just FYI. So here we are with this one. And this one has 876 members. I'm already logged in. So now I'm going to click on members and I am simply just going to network. Okay. And I see that my common friend, my common investor friend, I now see where he's getting his buyers from. So I see him again and with his activity. So this is interesting. Fantastic. So I would just message these people and eventually I want to find a commonality. So for example, this very first person here, his name is Michael. It appears that Michael is doing deals in Louisville and Raleigh virtually. He's virtual wholesaling. He mainly wholesales. So, wow, cool. It says mainly wholesale. I'm looking for network with, or I guess you meant looking to network with other investors in that area to do business together. So Michael may be someone who lives in Indiana, or he might live in Texas, or he might live in California, but he's virtually wholesaling in, drumroll please, Raleigh, North Carolina, and Louisville, Kentucky. Now, here's a cool thing that we're noticing here. Not only is Michael virtually wholesaling, and not only is he actually building relationships, um, but if I happen to live in North Carolina, or if I'm a Tar Heel fan or a Duke fan or whatever, that could be a commonality in which, as I'm chatting with Michael, boom, we connect. Or I could just say, hey, Michael, I'm also doing business in the Louisville market and also the Greensboro market of North Carolina. It's great to meet a fellow wholesaler. Is it cool that you and I could chat via phone for 5 or 10 minutes? Cool, right? Hey, periodically I come across deals in the Louisville area. Is it cool that you and I could chat for 5 or 10 minutes? Cool, right? So I'll just send him a quick message. I'm just going to say that. Hey, Michael, I saw that you are virtually wholesaling. It's always cool to meet others doing the same. Periodically, I come across deals in the Louisville area. Is it cool that you and I chat for 5 or 10 minutes? Your phone, right? And who knows? Maybe by just being friendly, learning about Michael, I may be able to refer deals to him. He may be able to refer deals to me. Pretty cool. We don't know, but we will find out because we're just going to ask the question. Okay, cool. So that's two examples right there. And again, if I wanted to look Michael up, let's do this real quick. Let's do notepads. Let's do some notepads in here. I like to use from time to time just like a little memo pad that's available. It's free for everyone to use. Anyone can use this. Okay. So I'm going to copy these because I'm got a feeling that somebody might want to use these things. So if you guys want to use them, you can. Now, what's cool is this is a very peculiar last name or very unique last name, excuse me. And so what's cool about this is I can. Did she message me back already? Oh, cool. Hi, thanks for contacting us. We've received your blah blah blah. Hello, thank you for reaching out. I have a few minutes available on Friday afternoon. Okay, cool. Let me look at my calendar because it's a real thing. You guys know I'm doing this in real time, so I can speak with Crystalline. So give me 1 second. Let's see. My Friday number is or calendar. Friday afternoon. Yeah, 12:30 will work for me. Yes. Oh, fantastic. Uh, will 12:30 p.m. work? Okay, cool. So as you guys see, she messaged me back, and that's fantastic. All right, so let's do the next person. So Michael has a very distinct name or a unique name, unique last name. So it might be a little easier for me to find him, and apparently not because I went to school with a lot of people with his last name. So not so much. Um, hmm, darn. Michael's first and last name is actually not very unique at all. I could assume I could assume that that's kind of funny. Geez, I forget the people that I know. This is crazy. But I could assume that this is not Michael because it says this page is for all things real estate. I am in San Francisco buying, selling, and investing. However, this guy does invest in real estate, so it wouldn't hurt me to reach out to him too. But I don't think this is my guy. Let me see. Michael has a picture of a baby. Hmm. Very interesting. Picture of a baby. Hmm. Hmm. Very odd to say. Well, um, okay. So I did recognize someone I went to high school with. Let's type in real estate, see what happens here. Ooh. Here's another Michael that I can network with who is a realtor who also does some investing. That's cool. Oh man. So I may not be able to find Michael. His name is so common. Um, Yikes. I don't know. This might be it though. He might be in here. I see that some of my fellow investors are already in these groups. So Michael may be in these groups. All right. I have to double back on this one. Yep. Sure. Oh gosh. Okay. I don't have time to answer that now. But anyway, I have to double back on Michael because he may or may not be in one of those groups. All right. So we just went through two meetups. You guys saw me go on Facebook. Let's go back to the Kentucky RIA right here. And so I see that there are members here, right? But then there may also be a Facebook group. And so lucky for, or a company website, right? So lucky for us, there is both. So this is the website for KRIA, Kentucky RIA, right? And what's cool about this is most of these RIAs have YouTube pages, they have Facebook pages. Just I know you guys thinking you're like YouTube pages. YouTube is considered a social media platform, and so whenever someone comments below, you can interact with that person. And if you actually go to their individual page, sometimes you'll actually see their email address. Okay, let me give you guys an actual example of that too. So if I were to want to look at this video on YouTube, and if I chose to go in the comments, that they must have, they just didn't get any comments at all. Wow. But if they did have, oh my gosh, if they did have comments, I could interact with whoever left a comment. All right. I oddly, wow, of all the examples to show, no comments whatsoever. That is rich. So let's try let's try one more. Let's go to their page and let's see if we can. Oh, there's Mike. Hey, there's Mike right here, landlording on autopilot. That's Mike right there, guys. He's gotten a little older, but fantastic book. Just FYI, his book is awesome. But even on Mike's video, wow, it's like no comments. Okay. Nonetheless, here's the deal. Normally, when people like stuff, they leave comments and they leave thumbs up on YouTube. I'm sure you guys have seen different videos on YouTube that where people have actually made a comment. And when that happens, you're able to go to that individual, like that person's YouTube profile, and you can click on their about section. And normally, I don't know who's handling their YouTube page, but anyway, normally there will be information of how you can get in contact with the individual. Okay. So I'm going to actually go to maybe like a Robert Kiyosaki because I'm pretty sure he gets a lot of views. Robert Kiyosaki. And I'll do the Rich Dad channel, for example. And I'm going to click on, I guess, this video. It has a lot of stats. Okay. Boom. So now you see a video that has comments. And what you see that YouTube does, or actually, I'm using something called vidIQ. It's like, oh, he has 2 subscribers. This is someone who more than likely, if I go to Terry's page, let's see, I'm pretty sure that Terry isn't producing any content, right? But what's cool about this is there are different search engines where I can actually type Terry's information in, Terry Judge, or just his name. I type in, if I paste it into Google, I will find Terry. Just FYI, like that's how kind of scary everything's connected. Keep in mind, YouTube is owned by Google, Gmail is owned by Google. So just FYI, forgive me, Terry, if you're watching this, but if there is a Terry Judge at gmail.com, when I type in his at symbol and his name, it's going to pop up. Because in order for you to have a YouTube account, you have to have a Gmail associated with your YouTube account. So you got to have a Gmail in order to have a YouTube account. And no matter whether or not you use your YouTube account, you're going to always have a YouTube page. So it just is what it is. Um, again, so I could go here, and sometimes you can see that someone is actually doing some cool stuff or saying something, or you might read the comments and someone says, "Hey, I'm looking for a buyer right now for a property that I have in XYZ." And you're like, cool. And you might read some of the comments, and it's like, yeah, um, look, a friend introduced me to this Signal program. Like, you'd be surprised at things you read. and is trading, for, in this example, Bitcoin, right? So anyway, so I could look at this person's thing again, see if he has any contact information. If not, then I can just type this into the Google search engine. All right, that's another way. Again, all we're looking to do, in all honesty, is we're just looking to connect with other human beings that have or may have an opportunity to lead us in the right direction. That is what we're doing, point blank, period. So we don't want to like make this like super duper hard. Now, going back to Kentucky, Kentucky's this is why this didn't get a lot of comments. So it's talking about politics. Anyway, so now what I can do is I could go to their Instagram page. I'm just telling you guys, there's so many ways to do this. What's up with that? Let's see. I guess who is doing their social media? Instagram.com/. I can go to their YouTube, their Instagram page, and we have to assume that if they're a business page and their Instagram page and they're promoting real estate stuff, then we have to assume that their followers are probably going to be Instagram people. I mean, probably going to be investors. So if I click on their followers, I get Brittany the Realtor, who is a realtor that is following an investment association. She's probably a investor friendly realtor. And all I would have to do is, just in this example, is click on Brittany's name, her Instagram name. And then at that point, what would I do? I would message Brittany. I would hit the little message icon. Like legit. That's what I would do. Okay. Then in addition to that, they have a Facebook group and they have a Meetup group, right? So on the Facebook group, which I have already pulled up for us, which is right here, jeez, which I have already pulled up right here, and all I would do, same thing. I have to assume that everyone that is following the Kentucky Real Estate Investor Association at some shape or form is interested in real estate investing. So when I go here to their page, I click on followers, and it's going to. Oh, what is wrong with these people, yo? This I don't know who's doing their social media, but nonetheless, what it should show me is everyone who is a following. All right. So let me hit the thumbs up on this bad boy. Hit refresh real quick. All right. I just don't understand this. I don't understand who does their social media. But anyway, so everyone here, these guys, I know these guys, they're common friends on Facebook with me. These guys are real estate investors. Okay. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to look on some posts, and if they have posts that have comments, which they have very few, Lord have mercy. I don't know what's going on with this group, but anyway, what I would do is okay, this guy's name is Mr. Malone, Jeremiah Malone. So he signed up for title company. Just need to make sure that there are two registered for tonight. Blah, blah, blah. All right, whatever. So this guy, at least based on what Facebook tells us, he is a full-time insurance agent, but he is also a closing agent and a realtor. Hey, cool. Nonetheless, he's a realtor that speaks at Real Estate Investing Association meetups or groups. So I'm going to assume that him being a realtor, he's probably a investor friendly realtor. I'm going to reach out to this guy, right? Um, let's see here. Dennis, Bill, Wally, Rue. Not sure the significance there, but I'll play the game. So let's just Google these four guys and let's see why they were there. Okay, cool. So Dennis is the president of Quality Systems Incorporated in Louisville, Kentucky. He is also the owner of a roofing company. And on LinkedIn, he has in his job description he's a real estate investor. So pause, time out. So more than likely, what this is that Dennis is probably the president of Quality Systems. And to diversify Dennis's portfolio, he probably likes to invest in real estate. That means that Dennis is probably someone that buys properties pretty frequently. And that probably means that Dennis is someone that if I'm selling a property, let's just say in Kentucky, that I do want to go ahead and network with. Cool. Um, and that makes sense why they had his picture up. Okay. Next one, Bill. And they didn't even add like commas or nothing. Like anyway. So we can type Bill in. Okay. Bill, the mayor, he's known as the mayor for everybody, currently serving as the mayor of Jeffersontown, Kentucky. Cool. Would it be cool to know a mayor? Absolutely. Would it also be cool if your mayor invests in real estate? Probably so. So I would probably want to reach out to Bill. That was pretty cool. That was pretty easy. I didn't know that Bill did that. Cool. Wally. Let's see what Wally does. And again, this is just Google. Google, it is what it is. Wally may have passed away. I see. But Wally was the treasurer elect for KRIA. Cool. So that means he's an active real estate investor. Fantastic. All right. For the Kentuckiana Real Estate Investors Association. Pretty cool. Let's do the next gentleman. Rue. What is Mr. McFarlane doing nowadays? Jesus. Uh, okay, he's got not only does he invest in real estate, but he has his company right here with the phone number for me to call. First American Real Estate Inc. Cool. So you just call. I would call Mr. Rue. All right. So just a quick review. We went through Instagram. We went through Facebook. We went through Meetup, and we also went through LinkedIn. And just in case someone's like, Leland, you didn't show me LinkedIn. I bet LinkedIn is so difficult to deal with. By the way, uh, as you guys know, especially if you're in an Asset Builders Club, you already have the templates to message people on LinkedIn. But just know that the templates for message people on LinkedIn, you can basically use the same templates for Facebook, Instagram, and Meetup. All right. But just in case someone was wondering, here we are on LinkedIn. So first off, Dennis is not active on LinkedIn. It's kind of expected. He appears to be a little older, and that's okay. So what we'll do, if I still need to get in contact with Dennis, is that I'm going to find, if I want to get in contact with Dennis, I'm going to find a way to get in contact with Dennis to build that relationship. In addition to that, what I would also do is I could skip trace and just find a phone number for Dennis. Because keep in mind, we've already went through how to skip trace. Keep in mind, I already have Dennis's first and last name, and I have a remote idea of where he resides on a regular basis. And it appears that Dennis also wrote a book called Mobile Home Cash Cow Intensive. Gee willikers. All right, so cool. All right, so let's go back to LinkedIn and let's just say that you're trying to find other people like that. Well, we're gonna look for something called a real estate investor on LinkedIn. We're just gonna see what happens. We got Sean. I know Sean actually. Anyway, so we got Sean there, but let's say I'm looking for specifically in Kentucky. Let's see what happens now. Kevin Hart. I bet he's a cool person to hang out with. I got Jim Palmer. I think I've spoken to him before. I got Yvette. Foo. I got Yvette. I got Hutch, the Marine investor. Don't know. But Hutch says that he brings veterans and high net worth investors together. This is the guy I want to talk to. He's talking with high net worth individuals and who are investors. All right. Let's message. Let's message Hutch. Send a message. Don't know why LinkedIn's doing that, but let's message Hutch. How's the year treating you in real estate so far? Oh, just FYI, as you can see here, you see that I've messaged Hutch before. Like what I'm teaching you guys to do as far as like connecting with people, I actually do this. But the last time I messaged Hutch was back in 2020. All right, cool. If you really want, like if on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, if you really want to get someone's attention on those platforms, what you want to do is after you message them, this is if you're messaging people, after you message them, go to their profile, look for like their most recent activity. So like if someone posted something today, looks like he posted something like 4 days ago, then what you really want to do is go to their post, read it, like actually be interested, comment, and then send it back to them. And I'll give you, we'll do a real life example. All right. So this post says 10 signs you're ready to be a passive investor in a real estate syndication. So basically, I already know what he's doing, but basically what Hutch is doing right here is that he's focusing just on passive investors who basically eventually will want to be part of his syndications. Syndications is a fancy way for raising money and giving those investors part equity, like an amount of equity in exchange for them putting capital. But they also need to be passive. Okay. So he's doing this as a way to educate his investor base. Pretty cool. So if I wanted to go through this, it says number one, you have money saved up that you're looking to invest. Two, you're tired of the stock market ups and downs. You want to diversify. You want cash flow, long term appreciation. All right. So if I go through this and I read it, I could say, yeah, and be genuine. Okay. I'm being genuine. Agree more. You must see the bigger picture by investing for the long term. Okay. I'm being genuine. Okay. And I also agree with that. Okay. So I could tag him in this, right? When I respond. Oh, and I know Andy, and you guys may know Andy too. He's actually was on our podcast. Andy is a syndicator as well with millions and millions. All right. So Andy's on here too. And what I could do is I could send this to Hutch and say, thanks a lot for sharing this. This is spot on. All right. So Hutch, thanks for sharing this. This is spot on. It was spot on. All right. So if you really want to get someone's attention, that's how you do it. All right. Because what you're basically doing is you're taking an interest in them. And it's kind of interesting, but it makes perfect sense. Like nobody likes being badgered only when you want something. But people like to interact with people that have like a genuine interest in who they are, what they're doing, et cetera, et cetera. And I guarantee like that goes a long way. It's kind of like, man, it's like, golly, can't think of the metaphor, but it's you're basically like, when do you want to begin building a bridge, right? And hopefully you're someone that builds a bridge before you need it. So if you're actively searching for relationships, the good relationships, the right business relationships, when you come across the deals, the opportunities, you've already at least had enough communication to where you can immediately get the deal going. But no one likes to feel like they're being approached just so you can like force things down their throat. You guys get what I'm saying. Anyway, so again, here we go. Real estate investor, comma, Kentucky. So everyone that shows up here under people, these people that are real estate investor, right? Louisville, Kentucky metro area. But also within my own feed, there are people that I'm connected with or that I may have like one connection removed. This guy is a CPA, but he's a tax advisor for real estate investors. And what's pretty cool is he specializes in 1031 exchanges. What does that mean? That means that the people that he deals with who are real estate investors, they are basically, they receive money from selling a property. They have to reinvest that money in a short period of time so that they don't pay taxes. So obviously, Eric would be a great person to build a relationship with. All right. Hope it makes sense. Okay. So going back to the people. So we go to people, I click on see all, and now I have 35 pages of real estate investors in Kentucky. Well, or in Kentucky or in Kentucky, right? 35. So at that point, this junction in time, I would connect with these individuals, message them, like a post that they have, maybe even comment on a post that they have, maybe even send the post that they made back to them. But I would be, networking with these individuals. Okay. So again, we went through Instagram, we went through Facebook, we went through YouTube, we went through Meetup, we went through LinkedIn, and I guess technically we could say we also just went through Google because there will always be some people that are older that just aren't really that deep in technology. Those types of folks, you got to go ahead and call them direct. Okay. So, with that being said, I hope you found a lot of value out of this. If you have found this beneficial, let me know in the comments. Give it a thumbs up, and also if there's something else you want me to go over, walk through, that kind of stuff, just put it in the comments. All right. Now, I want to impart this wisdom with you guys. And for those of you guys who don't like the Bible, now is a great time to log off. But for those of you guys who actually want to see how this actually connects with the Bible, I'm going to read this quick parable that Jesus had. And when you listen to it, it makes perfect sense. One more thing before we get into the parable real quick. As I went back real quick on the K-RIA, right? I noticed that the only picture that got the most thumbs up was this one, and so I highlighted over here, and I was like, oh, I know some of these people. But what's pretty cool is, let's say that you didn't know any of these folk, right? You could still do the same thing. You could reach out to these folk and see what is it that they're doing. So GK1 Properties, obviously they're buying rental properties, right? Um, hey, there's Rue McFarland right there. Could add him on Facebook, right? I can message him directly on Facebook. Okay. But look, Kentucky cash home buyers probably would be someone to at least network with because they might be buying what homes cash in Kentucky. They may have other joint venture agreements. We don't know until we ask, but boom, you just made a connection, right? So that was there. Now, With that being said, let's actually get into the uh, let's get right into the parable I want to share with you. All right. So for those who decided to stay with me a little longer, I'm going to read this parable from Jesus. This is located in Luke chapter 16, goes from verse 1 through verse 13. I'm going to read it. It's not a full chapter, nothing like that, but I want you to just kind of listen, and then I'm going to tell you exactly how this actually connects to what you're doing with real estate investing. Okay. So, verse 1 says, Jesus told his disciples, there was a rich man whose manager was accused of wasting his possessions. This guy was basically accused of stealing. So, he called him in and asked him, what is this I hear about you? Give an account of your management because you cannot be manager any longer. The manager said to himself, what shall I do now? My master is taking away my job. I'm not strong enough to dig, and I'm too ashamed to beg. I know what I'll do so that when I lose my job, not if, guys, when I lose my job, people will welcome me into their houses. So he called in each of his master's debtors, people that owed his master money, right? He asked the first, how much do you owe my master? And the man replied, 900 gallons of olive oil. The manager told him, take your bill, sit down quickly, and make it 450. So he cut that guy's bill in half. Verse 7. Then he asked the second, and how much do you owe? 1,000 bushels of wheat, he replied. He told him, take your bill and make it 800. Verse 8. The master commanded, the master commended, like congratulated, the dishonest manager. The same guy who was going to fire him commended him because he had acted shrewdly. For the people of this world are more shrewd in dealing with their own kind than are the people of the light. I tell you, use worldly wealth, aka money, to gain friends for yourself so that when it is gone, you will be welcomed into eternal dwellings. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. And whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. So if you have not been trustworthy in handling worldly wealth, who will trust you with true riches? And if you have not been trustworthy with someone else's property, who will give you your property of your own? No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate one and love the other, or you will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. So check this out. And it's like tons of great stuff within that parable. One of the things I want to make a parallel with what I told you guys is the relationship part. In one of the verses, it says, "Use worldly wealth, use money to gain friends for yourself, to gain friends, so that when it is gone, so that when something bad happens, or so that when you are in need, you have those existing relationships ahead of time." When this man was going to be fired, in preparation, he found it more advantageous to use or to build relationships so that they became assets. So that when he did get fired, he basically had assets. He had relationships. And the relationships, he knew that relationships would follow the wealth, it would follow the money. The relationships. When you think about people having masterminds where they bring people together, maybe like the top performers in the industry together for, I don't know, $200,000 a ticket, those people, they're not coming there just to be there. They're coming there to be in the same room with other people of high caliber and to build relationships, to build partnerships, to have affiliation with each other. The relationships are so powerful that money follows relationships. When someone is buying in bulk from China, for example, a Chinese manufacturer, and they're buying in bulk to bring the product to the United States. It's the relationship with the manufacturer to get a smaller price point, and then that relationship becomes profitable. It boils down to relationships, and you're better off forming your relationships before you need them. If you don't form your relationships in advance, when you finally do need the help, you'll be begging, and you might even feel ashamed. So, with that being said, that is it, and I'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, it's Leland Baptist, and real quick, so I want to remind you guys before you watch the rest of the video that if you already have the Asset Builders Club app, which is, again, it's a free download that you can get from the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. All you have to do at that point is log in, create an account, click on Learn, and if you've already chose to invest in yourself by gaining the Your First 10K Wholesaling, you just click on that and you go to day 2, not day number 5, not day number 10, but you click on day number 2 where it says how to find buyers. As you see here, there are literally tons of ways that I show you step by step on how to find buyers. Now, with that being said, in this video, I'm actually going to show you step by step a few ways to find buyers as well. And all you have to do is learn and implement, and you will get the results. So with that being said, enjoy the rest of this video, take notes, implement, and tell me all the good things in the comments. With that being said, peace. I'm out.